Hi friends, it's your pal Scott Garibay, and today I'm going to give you my review of the game Die RPG. All right, by Kieron Gillen and Stephanie Hans. So I want to be transparent about my review of this. So I did not purchase this, and the reason why is it's not cheap, right? And the reality is I was fascinated by this, but I was absolutely positive this game would never, ever, ever hit the table for me. And after having read it, I'm positive it will never, ever hit the table for me. But I was really fascinated by it, and I wanted to do a review of it. I wanted to dig into it. And so a friend of mine had it, and it was not on there. It was not being run by them either, right? And so I was like, hey, can I borrow that and then get it back to you as soon as I'm done reading it? So I was very careful with it, and I was able to read through it, and this is my review. Okay, so first of all, let me explain that weirdness, right? So why didn't you just buy this, Scott? Well, first of all, I know what Die, D-I-E, is a successful indie comic book, okay? And it's just like regular comic book. It came out in, comic book issue, and then it was ported over to graphic novel, and it was a regular comic book release. And it's been coming out for a few years now, and so I was very aware of it. And I was so aware of it that I actually checked it out, and I was like, oh, I am absolutely fascinated by everything this product discusses and deals with, and I despise exactly how it's being dealt with, right? Like, so first of all, Kieron Gillen and Stephanie Hans did this book in a way where they're like, the concept is, people play D&D in high school, then they part for 10 years, and then they come back at a reunion, and then they play D&D again, but they're all isekai'd into the world, into D&D, essentially an analog of D&D. But it's evil, and it's not good, and the whole thing's sad and like melancholy, and I'm like, I don't like that. I love D&D. It's a source of joy for me. I don't understand what your whole shtick is, right? But here's the kicker. The reason so here's my review of the game. Okay, so I hate this subject, right? But I loved almost everything else about the game. So first of all, if you are a Brooklyn artisanal pencil sharpener, you're gonna love this, right? Like, so basically, and let me get this all the way there. This thing is the ultimate in coffee table RPGs, RPGs that guys like me are extremely interested in, but that are so esoteric and so weird, and have absolutely no attempt to be playable by anyone but RPG designers, that it will almost never hit any table. I believe, and I believe the vast majority of these books are sitting on coffee tables and absolutely never see play, right? This thing is extremely avant-garde. It's like a performance art piece, right? It's just like, you're like, do you have a painting I could look at? Like, like, it's so weird. However, it is beautiful and brilliant, and it is nothing but a gigantic pile of fascinating innovation, right? So I rolled at it pretty hard there, but actually I was quite impressed with this book. The other thing is, like, at Christmas time, I got people who love me, and I can really see myself going, I really want to own that. Like, I would never spend my own dollars on this, and I'm positive this will never see a table anywhere, because I'm not sure there's 5 people in the world that are interested in playing this thing, right? Like, let alone anybody in your proximity, right? But it is fascinating. It is absolutely fascinating, and just filled with beautiful innovation. So I told you all the things I don't like. Let me tell you the things I do like. Oh my gosh, Daggerheart and Die RPG are the same thing. I am just convinced now that Dungeons & Dragons 3 book structure is a luxury that only D&D gets to get away with anymore. Everybody else is like, if you even try that. The perfect example of this is the Doctor Who tabletop role-playing game. I've wanted to play that for a long time, right? And I see it at the store, and I'm like, wait a second. I got to put out $60, $70 for the GM guide and the player guide, and does it have a beastie? And I don't even know, right? And I'm like, I'm not buying that. I'm not going 120 in, right? Whereas everything but D&D has enough name to get away with that, right? They can be like, yeah, you're going to buy 3 books, right? Like, right. But everybody else, you're like, you best get all your stuff out in one book. But the wild thing is, I think Dungeons and Dragons is suffering from the 3-book structure. And I actually think they like it when they went into D&D 5e, I think they would have been far better off going to a 1-book structure. And now Daggerheart is brilliant, Die RPG is brilliant, and this problem they have is actually their greatest benefit. And I think 1-book structure is just the best process for any tabletop role-playing game. And I think D&D only gets away with 3-book structure, DMG, PHB, and MM, because it's D&D, and it doesn't play by anybody else's rules. It very literally, within its industry, it plays by its own rules. There's no two ways about that. Okay, the other thing is this thing is brilliantly innovative, brilliant rule structure, complete not D&D non-clone. It's fantastic. The other thing is it's done by one artist. Oh my gosh, done by one artist, okay? And this artist is fantastic and has filled this book with beautiful palettes, amazing art that perfectly fits the setting. It's cohesive, and it's one unique, powerful visual template, like a palette, right? And again, I wish D&D had this. I would pay money, right? I would rebuy the PHB, the DMG, and the MM if you had one artist do all of them. I think that would just be so good. And just gathering up all these different artists and just different styles and slapping it all together, it just feels like a badly curated art gallery, right? And when you look at a book like Die RPG has done a better job of marrying its visuals to its setting and its story. It is fantastic. The layout was absolutely phenomenal. I will never play this game, but I absolutely ache to own it, right? But it's very hard for me, because I got to be careful. I can't just buy every book I'm interested in. I will go broke, right? And so I think I may ask for this, from people who love me for Christmas, or I might try to get a used copy, right? Anyone who is interested in tabletop role-playing games, I highly, highly suggest you check this out. It is fascinating and brilliant. And by the way, I've never even read the source material, right? And by the way, this is completely inaccessible. It is completely inaccessible to anyone who has never read the source material. This thing is highly unplayable and highly fascinating. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. And if you have a lot of cheddar, or if money is no object, definitely buy this thing. Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion, nothing more, nothing less. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic, please consider subscribing and have a fetch millennium.